Work. Good morning or good day, everybody. This is Robert Jordan with Market Protocol. This is our Engineering Weekly, week 32. It's August 9th. I just want to welcome everyone to the call. And if you've read the agenda, you've probably seen what day it is. Do you know what day it is?
Do you want me to play it?
Yeah, if you've got a song for us, I have a little backstory here, but if you have a polka song for us, it's National Polka Day.
Well, this is a remix, more or less. You know, I'm a younger guy, so it's polka with some, with some beats on it.
Very nice. Very, very nice. I grew up in a family. My dad's side of the family had an accordion. I did not inherit the talent to play the accordion, although it came out many times at family dinners and get-togethers and barbecues, and my grandfather, my father, my uncle all played the accordion. So it has a very fond place in my heart, and ranks right up there with Superman Day. So I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning on the call. Does anyone else have any stories of the accordion or polka or anything around this instrument?
Well, I guess from where I come from, like originally, it's a more or less national. So basically on weddings and stuff like that, you can expect to hear it a lot. On any kind of celebration, there's this whole traditional part which goes along with polka and stuff like that. So I'm pretty familiar with the techniques of playing, but as yourself, I did not inherit any talent for it. So yeah.
Oh boy. Well, it sounds like we come from similar backgrounds, and again, thanks everyone for putting up with that. There will be plenty more on more engineering calls, and by the way, if any other cultures or geographies, you guys have any other holidays you'd like to share, I'd be more than happy to showcase those on the engineering call. All right, let's get to it. So let's do a round of introductions on the call. We've got some new faces, and let's just go through. I've just got a list of folks, and Patrick, why don't we start with you?
Hey guys, Patrick Charles. I'm an advisor and sometimes technical contributor. Glad to meet everyone new on the call.
Thanks, Patrick. Lazar.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lazar. I'm a community manager for Market Protocol, and I recently started to attend basically every of these Engineering Weekly calls because I really enjoy all the updates and all the work that the guys are doing. And yeah, I'm starting the countdown for you guys until we reach the 100 contributor. I hope that's going to be pretty soon. I think we're hopefully, by the time of the next call, we'll be a couple of numbers closer to that.
Thank you for keeping track of that, Lazar. I did not realize that. So that's an exciting metric to achieve. So thanks for that update. Spartan.
Yeah, hey, it's Casper here.
Oh, Casper, sorry.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so we're an advisor to Market Protocol, more on the consultant financial advisory side. And apropos the holidays, although I'm in Denmark right now, we're based in Singapore, and today's National Day in Singapore, so the July 4th equivalent.
Very nice. Wow. Do you have the equivalent of the fireworks and the festivals and everything that's going on?
Yep, something like that. And a couple of years ago, it was the 50th anniversary of Singapore, so there's a massive celebration, including a very, very cool aerial show with the fighter jets flying like, a few hundred feet above all the skyscrapers.
Wow. That must have been something to see. Cool. Thanks, Casper. Isotopes. Welcome. Where you from and what do you do? They might be stuck there in the video. I'm going to move on. David, we got some movement. Are you able to speak, or maybe you're caught up because you're in the car? Let's move on to David Kirkos.
Hi, David Kirkos. I met Robert in Boulder, Colorado. I'm from Boulder. I'm a software engineer. I'm currently in Detroit, and I'm currently between projects. I'd love to just see how you guys run these meetings and what you are up to.
Great. Hey, thanks for joining us today. It was good meeting you as well.
Absolutely.
Dan.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, hi, my name is Dan Matthews. I am a part-time contributor, currently working about half-time with Market and loving the work.
Thanks, Dan. It's good having you as part of the team. Our newest member, Bass. Bass, I'll let you do an introduction and explain to folks what you do.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Hey guys, my name's Bass. I'm here in Denver. I'm near to some of the team. I have a operations focus and am going to be helping the team with a few different hats and supporting all of you, with my business experience. I'll be listening in, as Lazar is for context in these weekly meetings as well. Nice to meet all you guys.
Thanks, Bass, and welcome to the Market and team and the community as well.
Thank you, Robert.
Travis.
Hey, my name is Travis. I'm a developer on the core team, and right now I'm working on mostly on the D app, and this week I've been working on a little bit of Market.js as well.
Cool. Thanks, Travis. Nitin?
Hey, I'm Nitin. I am a product designer and a front-end developer at part of the core team. Yeah, I'm working on the interface for the SIM exchange, which we are building on the D app currently.
Thanks, Nitin. And last but not least, Eswar.
Hi everyone, I'm Ishwar. So I've been working remotely for Market Protocol from Bangalore, India. So yeah, like my major role here is to like mostly handle the code reviews and kind of jump in and dive into the releases.
Great, thanks, Eswar. Yeah, part of the reason why I like to do the introductions, and you guys can give me feedback if you'd like to do this differently, but these calls do get recorded and they're played by others that can't attend live. So it's really nice to have some context of the individuals when you're starting to work with them, especially as you work with GitHub and our Discord channel. And I think Perfect just joined us. Perfect, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Okay, my name is Perfect. I contribute to Market Protocol. Well, recently I've been working more on the Market.js library. I think that's it.
Yes, thank you. You've been coming up to speed rather quickly on that. I know it's a quickly evolving project, so thanks for your help, Perfect.
Always happy to help.
Great. All right, so let's move on. This week, as I mentioned before, there's been a bunch of work on Market.js to unblock some other work that we have going on, as well as just getting a little bit more stabilization into that particular project. There's continued work on what we're calling the service listener, which is providing some functionality for our simulated exchange and order book. There's also, as Nitin's been working as a product designer, UI UX design discussions, questioning, trading of different designs in the mock trading UI, fill order, user order, and user login, and deploy contracts. And so just trying to work through some usability, not so much issues, but just figuring out how people would like to work given different geographies, cultures, left-right orientation, and a variety of other factors. So we're always happy to have feedback there. Our design channel inside of Discord is something where please feel free to join and participate in that discussion. We're always expanding our test coverage, so thank you for the folks that have been working on that. It's the ever elusive trying to get to 100%, which does not exist, but it's a goal. completing the pre-sale form for our website. And also, just to give you guys a heads up, I think today/tomorrow, depending on what time zone you're at, we'll have both Eswar and Nitin. That will be out in India. There's a hackathon. And I don't know, guys, do you find a topic or an idea that you're going to hack on over the next couple of days?
Yeah, Robert. So like I did think of some idea, but like it's not exactly related to market protocol. So like me and Nitin are still brainstorming on like if we can build something on top of Market.js or something like that. So yeah.
Okay, that'll be great. We'll be really curious to see what you guys come up with, and of course, for the community and promotional value, if there's anything that's a recording or demos or anything you guys do, we'd love to see that on the next engineering call.
Yeah, sure. We'll definitely do that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And thanks for spending the time to go out there and do that. I think it sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
All right, quick update on the engineering stats. I like to do on a weekly basis just to show you some of the trends that are going on between some of the major repos that are out there. I try to highlight the ones that are most active. There are others. There's a service listener repo that's out there that we just started working on for the order book. And Dan's been contributing to that, as well as some of the core contributors. There's also a market API, which is providing some REST endpoints for us. They're just not big enough to really showcase, at least at this point, but they do go into our overall numbers just to show generalized activity of the project. And I think we're also internally, and Lazar, feel free to comment here, but we're working on a way to show how our project, activity-wise, compared to other projects that are out there. Lazar, I'll let you comment if you have anything to say there.
Well, I'm basically waiting to get back, get a message back from the admin of DP rating. It seems like, what they're doing, as what Bass has basically provided me insights in, is very good. Like their auditing process is much more complex than, just plain commits and stuff like that. They're essentially able to evaluate popularity of certain repositories and projects in general, and based on a lot more parameters than CoinGecko or some other trackers can do. So basically, I'm just waiting for them to get back to me and let me know, like, what do they require for the auditing process, and hopefully we will soon have some kind of results to compare and just see where we are at, because I truly believe that looking at what you guys are doing, that our project ranks pretty highly, compared to many other ones in the industry.
Yeah, thanks, Lazar. It's challenging, and again, we're really open for any sort of feedback that you guys might have. We find that number of commits isn't really that good of a metric. By the way, I'm going to share my screen here. I forgot for the market stats. It's not really that good of a metric, although activity is a good item to track. And so, obviously, from a community perspective, you guys don't want to work on a stale project, and it's nice to feel that you're contributing in a significant way to a project. So it's always nice to be able to provide that data for you. So and also internally, we're really curious because we're continuing to grow and seek investment as well in our company, and those are also other good metrics for us. All right, moving on. Some of the commits this week on both the website and Market.js, the service listener, and the D app. Crypto Metal was pretty active. We had a lot of work, like I said, in Market.js. Thanks on the website, and Dan and Stephen and Lockie. We appreciate your contribution and your continued work. On the release side of things, and release is a loaded word, and I apologize in advance because we talk about releases, individual version releases, and then we have this thing we're calling the monthly release. And so let me just quickly clarify this. I'd like to change some of the terminology, but the ZenHub plugin we use for GitHub which is our project management system, is a little specific on their syntax, so it can be a bit confusing. And release is a loaded word as well. So the individual releases, we're just referring to the dot increments, or the dot or dot dot dot, however you want to look at that, increments on our software. So we iterate pretty quickly where we need to on any of our projects, and you'll see that Market.js as well as the website have some incremental releases. And then we get into what we're referring to the August release. And the August release is simply this block of work that we've defined that we want to complete within a monthly time frame. So I've got a link. Unfortunately, the Markdown didn't work, but there's a link to the project board. It is in ZenHub as well. If someone, as I'm talking here, or I'll just add it to this agenda as well, the link to the ZenHub board, which anybody with a GitHub account can take a look at. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll just switch my tab over here, and I'll go over to that board, so you get an idea of what that looks like. I'm going to open it in the web app, because that's how some of you that are either first-time contributors or not contributors, but just are looking to see whether or not they want to participate in the project. When you go to this link, what will happen is that it'll ask you for a GitHub account, and then it'll display the board. So this is a culmination of all 13 repos and projects. Sorry, my connection seems to either be a bit slow here, or ZenHub is a bit slow. But this link I'll post out there, and you'll get an idea of, this is the GitHub overlay. The ZenHub overlay. What's nice about this is that you're working within GitHub. Although you put a plugin for Chrome or Firefox, and it allows us to do a lot more in the way of creativity versus the standard project board inside of GitHub. Let's see if we've loaded. Oh, we're just going to move off of that. That's okay. And so on a release, there's also the reporting function as well. Any of you can get in there, open an issue up, check status or progress on an issue. You'll see that when you file a pull request, what we'll do is we'll make sure that pull request is connected to the issue, and that we'll move it into the code review column. What's nice about that is that we can track, as you see here. You'll see the issues that are in progress right now, and then also have some of them have WIP associated with it when you do a pull request. What you'll see is, I'm looking for one right now. For example, issue 245 in the DApp, you'll see a WIP pull request. And what we always like to see is that if you have code that you can commit, go ahead and do often and early. We'll just attach it to the issue. If it's a WIP, it'll be in the in progress column. When it actually is it's moved to being final, we'll put it into the code review column. And that way, one of the core contributors will know that they need to review that and get you some feedback. So hopefully all that information will help out with some of the first time or non-contributors now that are looking to contribute to the project. And as I look at what I'm terming our monthly release, again, just a body of work that we're trying to complete. Again, this week has been a little crazy for us in the way of just removing blockers, cleaning things up. You have weeks like this, so I don't want to say we're a bit behind, because we've also increased the scope of the work as well. Plus having Phil is also a strong contributor to the project, having him out. So there's a variety of factors. This is our first monthly release, so this is going to vary a bit as we get our feet underneath us to figure out what the true velocity is for the team. So just a quick update there. Hopefully this is helpful for everybody to figure out where we're at in our project. And I'll pause for a moment to see if we have any questions. All right.
I did just want to say that, like, don't put too much weight into this, like, because it's the first month we've done it, so we don't even know what our velocity is. Therefore, we could have planned far too much for what we're capable of doing. So
we never do that. As developers, we never do that.
We need a good, like, 4 or 5 months of doing this before we'll see any type of true velocity. And there's a bunch of stuff preparing to close too. So it's, yeah, that's pretty.
Thank you
based
for
on
the
my
editorial.
personal
Sorry, go ahead, Lazar.
based on my personal experience, like in life, it's always good to like set up a higher goal and just try to achieve it. And you always like lack that little bit piece of it because that just gives you the enthusiasm to keep on going. So I like what I see, honestly. That means that you guys are fairly optimistic about your skills, and that, like, I would say up to 90%, you're accurate and fast, and that's what keeps you moving forward. If you would always surpass your goals, I suppose that, you know, at one point you just wouldn't be as so enthusiastic, you know, like, so in my opinion, this chart looks awesome.
Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, as Travis mentioned, and Lazar, as you've mentioned, I'm not too concerned about it. We're just building some data here, and it's just nice to see some graphical information to get a feel for how things are going. So a lot of velocity in the project, a lot of contribution, a lot of work. As Travis said, you know, there's a lot of stuff we're closing out this week as well. So just again, information. I appreciate any feedback you guys might have. So on the heads up area, I think we've killed this one, but I just do want to open it up to make sure that if there's anything anyone would like to share that they've bumped into with Market.js or anything else you've been working on, here's the time to do that. I mean, again, if hopefully you've rebased, you've updated your individual forks. That was last week when that happened, so hopefully that's permeated throughout the different contributors and repos that you've been working on. Anything else that anyone else wants to share that they've bumped into, or just give others a heads up? Okay. I know this is a bit impromptu. I think I checked in with you guys yesterday. I think we're going to pass on the demos today, just due to the heads down work we've been doing this week. Unless there's anyone else that wants to share something with us. I'll pause for a moment to allow you guys to give feedback if you need to.
I mean, I can do, there's nothing pretty, but if you'd like, I can do a quick demo. I do have trade orders, creating a trade order and filling that order working. I'm just doing some cleanup work on it. I could show it. There's not much. It's mostly being outputted into the console. So, and we don't have any of the UI UX for it that Nitin has been working on. But I can show the demo of the logic working.
Yeah,
if you would like.
I think that's great. I mean, doesn't have to be pretty, not for a demo. Plus, it is quite exciting.
All right. Let's see here.
So just before you start, just pause, say your name, what you're going to work on, and then do the demo. So Lazar can make Lazar happy.
Okay. My name's Travis Mathis, and I'm going to be demoing creating a trade order and filling that order using Market Protocol. So you can see here that I have 1.95 wrapped Ether available for trading on the Binance 0x Ether contract that we've created. And so I'm first going to create an order. And do not mind the UI. It's completely temporary while Nitin comes up with all the great stuff he's been working on. And then we're going to tie all the logic that I'm working on into the new UI. So we just need to sign a message stating that, yes, we want to create this order. And you'll see here in our console that we have been given back a JSON string, which is just our signed order information. And it has a signature here that states we've signed it and we agree that we're looking for this. And so this has a taker that anyone can fill with a null address. So you can share this JSON object on, say, Twitter or wherever you want, and someone can take that JSON object if they want to fill it for you and come over here in our temporary UI. If you've used 0x, this may be familiar to you. It's just a very simple and quick way to do this. And so we're going to submit a contract. And again, UI is not great, but we're going to get, we're going to be asked to submit a transaction. And we're going to confirm that transaction. And the market protocol is going to return an order transaction info object. And you can see here that it has all of our information about that order. We can find out information, and that's pretty much it. So now we'll be able to take this and UI, and we'll have trades and orders. And so we'll expand on this as we bring it into the new UI. And you won't actually, you'll actually be able to just fill it right from, you know, the order book, just as you would in any exchange. So you won't even have to deal with the JSON string at all, unless you want to share it. You want to be able to share it with people, share it on Twitter, create a share link. There's any numerous reasons you might want to turn this JSON string into a link of some sort that you can share around for people to fill, so that they don't actually have to be on the website to find the order. They could actually be brought to the website to fill the order or whatever.
Awesome. I love it. Thanks, Travis.
Thanks. I got two questions for Travis or whoever else. It's more of a, it's not related to the demo. The demo looks great. Just remembered when he mentioned wrapped ETH, and I remember back like a couple of months ago, I spoke with Phil about it, and I know that you can wrap Ethereum on weth.io or something like that, right? I suggested him like to think about in the future to maybe have a ETH wrapper on our D app. So what do you guys think about integrating that? How hard is that? Like to have it right there on the spot itself, instead of people having to go and make an extra step of wrapping it on a third-party website.
Anybody want to jump in?
I mean, that's always possible. It's not hard. You just send some Ether to a contract. The contract does everything for you and sticks it in your wallet and keeps track of it for you. So I'm just pulling that data. So I've wrapped Ether, and then so I just pull this data from the wrapped Ether contract to display it in our UI. So it's really, I mean, this can be any ERC20 token, it doesn't matter. And so all wrapped Ether is Ether turned into an ERC20 token. So it's really any ERC20 token that is fine there.
I know that. Yeah,
and wrapping Ether is very simple. It's a basic UI. It shouldn't be too terribly hard.
So Lazar, you're thinking like I think 0x has, you can wrap Ether right there before you do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, Ether is not ERC20 compliant that I'm aware of, and like the only thing that like why I would love to have it there is that I know that when people need an extra step or two, if it's their first time, they usually give up. You know, like they just don't want to handle all the complexities, you know, if they're not fully interested into just deploying a contract or something like that. And if it's simple to be integrated into our GUI, I see the benefit definitely of doing it. You know, if there's an API that we can pull, or I mean, I don't know how that thing should work, but as long as it's available on our D app, you know, by default, I think that's going to be pretty useful.
Let's definitely figure out where that might fit in the priorities of what we're working on.
Sure.
I can see, you know, and it's always so challenging, right? Because the other thing is the most of you on the call, if not all of you, probably understand, you know, the peer-to-peer nature of and this distributed exchange focus we have as an organization. And so, you know, this is not for, you know, like Travis said, you can simply just take the JSON object and be able to trade against it using the information that's within it. So That's one of the focuses of the protocol and the simulated exchange, right? Because we're not creating an exchange for others to use. We're trying to enable other partners and other distributed exchanges to be able to offer the market protocol contracts.
The other reason we might not implement the wrapped ether thing is because I believe the plan is when we actually launch the simulated exchange, we're going to be using our own fake wrapped ether. We're going to go an extra step so that we can do some gamification of the trading and do some we have better control over the tokens. We can give them to traders. And I think there's going to be some rewards based on some competitions and trading competitions. So I think the plan is to create more of a faucet for our faked wrapped ether token and not make them deal with the actual wrapped ether at all. Because then they still, even if, the reason being is because even if we implement the wrapped ether functionality into the website, we still have to implement a way for them to get actual Rinkeby ether tokens to wrap at all before they can start trading. So there's this other extra step that we have no control over, right? You have to go and get it from the testnet faucets and stuff like that. So for that reasoning, I think that would be why we wouldn't do it, because we would not use it. So I think that's still to be determined at the moment.
I think that's even a better solution, honestly. As long as it doesn't take too much of your effort and time to develop something like that and implement it, I think that's even better, because then everything is basically native to our simulated exchange. And I believe that, that way you will be much sure that everything's going to be working appropriately,
Yeah, it just gives us more data and information as well about the token usage and the trading and that type of thing.
Yeah. Did you guys see the one last thing that I wanted to ask you about? I'm pretty sure that you guys commented on that on Engineering Channel. This Metamask update that's supposed to go out in November. How hard is to basically be compliant with it, or whatever? I don't know what's the right word to use, but I know that they're gonna
be
increase security level.
Yeah, it's going to be a heavy refactor. Pretty much every DApp at the moment lives off of the built-in Web3. So we're going to have to go in and replace all of that, and it's got to happen pretty quick.
Wow.
So because it's going to be deprecated in November, and that's due to security reasons. And it's for instance, a malicious website. If the person lands on it, and even if they don't authenticate or anything, because the Web3 automatically connects, the malicious website could fingerprint that user as a Ethereum user and can track them in various ways and things of that nature. So they're getting rid of that so that the DApp has to instantiate the instance, and you have to approve it at that point, or something along those lines. So we do need to make that change, and it is going to be a pretty heavy refactor on the DApp side, and is probably a good time to upgrade market.js to use Web3 1.0, and I think this is all related in that way. So this is going to, and it's probably not a bad idea to the next sprint cycle we plan out, make this a pretty big focus, considering it's now August and November is just a couple months away. Because it's going to be a big change for the whole app, which is good, because Web3 1.0 offers us a lot better error handling. It offers a lot of improvements over the current 0.20.6. So it'll be worth the effort, but it's going to be a big effort from the whole team, everybody, and all the repos.
Oh, man.
Yep. All right, gentlemen. I don't see any ladies on the call. I would say ladies and gentlemen. Nice discussion. I appreciate the conversation today. I appreciate the community joining us. Thanks, Casper. Welcome, Bass. And I do leave you with a video, inspiration or not. I'm sorry if someone finds it offensive. It might not culturally translate well, but it is one of my favorite ones. So I hope you enjoy it. And if not, let me know too. Thank you in advance. And happy deving and happy rest of your week.
All right, bye.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Robert.
Bye-bye.